Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to round 13 here of the Calendar Season League. I am your host, Amkasa, and we are here in rather overcast looking Belgium. Only small grid today, unfortunately, but still, hopefully we still have some good racing on board. We've got a couple of drivers that will be joining us as qualifying progresses, but they will be unable to take part in qualifying, unfortunately. But, yeah, so we are here in Belgium. One of the most famous races ever took place in 1998 as a British person will tell you, is the greatest race ever because Damon Hill won in a car that shouldn't win. Um, it maybe the year after he should have won more, but if he just kept on. But that's that. 98, obviously, sure most people remember, was a massive crash, one of the biggest crashes I've ever actually seen in Formula One in recent years, anyway. Took out, I think it was nearly half the grid crashed on the opening lap. Well, we're about to show you whereabouts because it was just round this corner here. We're on board with Positive Vibes, the host. It was just about here where everyone started to crash. And it was very spectacular. You couldn't really see much as it was happening because there's just cars flying all over the place. And it made for some good viewing, unless you know Max, who's all over the place actually. He needs to be careful out there in front. Obviously, it resulted in Damon Hill winning. And resulted also in Michael Schumacher having a rather big crash with David Coulthard, who he was trying to lap. David Coulthard putting over to the side of the road, and Schumacher just driving into the back of him. I didn't laugh, honestly. Alright, I laughed a lot. So there's one of the drivers who's not going to make it into qualifying, unfortunately, but he will be here for the race. That's Beaker, who I'm kind of anticipating will do really well. Current championship leader, which is FK Gaming, is not here today, unfortunately. But he has such a big lead. He's about 160 points out front from his teammate Unity. So it's a bit of a two-horse race as it stands, but Max will hopefully to claw some points back in and get himself at least a podium here, if not a win. That's what he's going to be aiming for, that's for sure. And he's coming up to the final few corners, and we'll do a full-on drive-by lap with him once he gets flying lap underway. He is on the mediums, so he's not going to have as much grip as everyone else, but hopefully this is just going to be a bank lap for him as he gets this lap starting. Very short run down towards the first corner, one of the shortest on the calendar, down into La Source, tight hairpin, several crashes there and there in the last few years, that's for sure. Now down the hill, down towards Eau Rouge, and then up through Raddy, and actually the right-left chicane. You make a mistake there, you are going into that wall, as again saw some big crashes a few years ago. Kevin Magnus, I believe it was. Down the Kebble Straight, you've gone through turn 6, a little kink in the road, down into Les Combes, turn 7 and 8, and then going to turn 9. You're going to see some overtakes going into the Les Combes. Obviously that DRS straight is powerful to say the least. Through Brussels, turn 10, and then turn 11. With this wall on the right is very close. One mistake and you are out of the race. Now downhill into the double left-hander of Pouon, turn 12. He's feisty there, here, holds it just. That was getting away from him just there. He's held it nicely. Now into turn 13, right-hander, bit wide on the apex, but hopefully you do right in the second one. Through Campus, turn 14, now into 15, Stavlo. Which is again, straighten up and then get back onto the right-hander. And that wall just there on the left could cause people during the race. It sticks out quite far as SSK sticks his pin in the fast lap so far. Up through Blanchemont, turn 17 and 18. He's got a bit of traffic ahead. Now he gets out of the way nicely. Then into the final chicane. I call it the bus stop chicane because that's what it was back when I used to watch a hell of a lot of F1. I still do. And keep it to the right. Pin that throttle. Get that DRS open. And set a 45.2 on the mediums. So Max taking provisional pole as it stands. Let's see where Unity is. He's on the just coming around. Stavlo now, turn 15. See where Wild Wolf is. He's just behind him as well. Angie has just started a lap. So we've got ball with Unity then coming through Blanchemont, turn 17 and 18. Now into the chicane and see how he does here. Keep over left. Oh, bit of a lock up there. And get that power down as you go for that line. And he does go fast. It's not surprisingly enough. He's 2 seconds clear then of Max. Max obviously on the mediums compared to Unity's super softs. We've also got the softs here today. Interesting enough that no one's gone out of the Max yet. Max obviously putting a banker lap on those mediums. Going to look to try and beat it later on. Unity looking like he's actually going to go again. He's in mode 5 still. Let's see where Max is. He's also in mode 5. Maybe he's going for a second lap. Although he's just over a 10th off his previous best. On that screen anyway, that might not be 100% accurate. Coming through Stavlo now. Not yet, sorry. Yes it was. Don't know what I'm talking about. Now up to turn 17 Blanchimont. And again, this is where you can see some overtaking during the race. People just clipping grass, wiggling a little bit, a bit unsure on the line. And Max is in mode 1. He looks like he might be going again. He's going to run out of lap ERS. He's definitely going for it again. Fortunately, the finish line is close. DRS open. He does improve by half a second. And he's still, unfortunately for him, still in P2. Wild Wolf 1 has pitted. As Angie goes P3 then in the McLaren. So a decent up there on the Super Softs. Unity, I believe, was going again. Yes, he is. He is now coming up through Blanchimont. See if he keeps going. He's still in mode 5, but he's got red fuel, so he might just put this into the pits. He's about to run out of ERS as well. Yep, he's into the pits then. A tricky pit entry here because it's quite narrow actually. You might clip the wall and lose a bit of wing. You have to be careful once the race is on. Angie's not going again. Styx has gone again and put in a 46 dead pretty much. And I suspect he's on an in lap at the moment. Positive Vibes is in the pits. So as Unity, as we said earlier, Wild Wolf 1 is on an out lap. The only man currently on the grid who's not put in a time yet. So we'll just stick with Styx for now. See if he does keep going on this lap, or is he just going to put it in the pits because he's got red fuel. I suspect he's going in the pits considering he's already at a 140 lap and he's not even got to the chicane. So is Max going again? He looks like he is. Ooh. Getting a bit dicey there. He's probably not going to go again actually. He needs to cross the line in the next 10 seconds. He's just fighting his way back to the pits pretty much. Positive Vibes has come out of the pits. He's going up Radian actually. It's always fun watching that because I can't drive Radian. I love watching the corner, but I can't drive it. I just constantly make mistakes on it. So Wild Wolf 1, the Mercedes down in P6, getting off the accelerator, interesting enough just there. Not sure why he felt the need to brake so early. But he's going to get his fly lap underway. As Unity's coming out as well. So we've got 3 in, 3 out. Let's see where Unity's going. He's far enough ahead. And there's the second of our drivers to be joining us tonight in Just Chilling. Again, similar to Biggie, he won't be taking part in qualifying, but he's at least here for the race. They'll be starting at the back, but with such a small grid, that shouldn't be too much of an issue for him. Wild Wolf won that with that DRS wide open, going down the Kemmel straight up to Lacoon. See if he does this beautifully, perfectly on the apex there. Just a little bit wide on the second one. But still, he's through the corners. Now through the hairpin, turn 10. Quite a big hairpin in comparison to La Source. To the point that it doesn't actually look like a hairpin. Now through P1, where we saw Max going a little bit sideways. Wild Wolf 1 doesn't go sideways, just not quite as neat or as tight as it could have been though. Max is in the pits with the super softs on, so he'll be looking to come out on those potentially. As Unity's started a flyer, about to start a flyer. Positive Vibes is about to start a flyer as well. Unity is just ahead of Wild Wolf 1, so we've got to change up almost immediately to, we've got to Positive Vibes once Wild Wolf 1's finished his lap. Really needs to put in a 145 or 144 And he's broke really early there for the last corner. And definitely not going to be going fast this time around. Let's see where Positive Vibes is. He's off track a little bit there. Just come out of Lacoon through turn 10. So all drivers now. Oh, Sticks has left the session. I say all drivers out now, but Angie's not out yet. All drivers do have the super softs on. Positive Vibes fighting that car, riding the curve a little bit too much as he kept it. He's still in though. That's what's important. He's got 7 minutes. He needs to get back to the pits. Rode that curve a little bit too hard on the inside, and that sent him into a spin. Let's see where Unity is. He's coming up to, where are we? That's turn 10. So unfortunately he won't be getting close to Positive Vibes. So Positive Vibes can take his time getting back to the pits. Max did just pass him though, I suspect. So I'll stick with Unity, current pole sitter. It's got a hefty gap over Max Orme, though Max did set his time on the mediums. As you can see, he's 1.2 seconds behind Unity. As Max got it in the bag to get up there. Can he find that 1.2 seconds on the considerably grippier tyres? He should be able to. But is Unity going to go fast and make it a bit harder for him? Yellow in sector 1. 2 corners left for Unity. Is he going to improve on his time? 38, 39, 40. He's getting close. He does. 0.3 of a second faster than his previous best. Laying the gauntlet then for Max Thorne. Wild Wolf 1 coming around the final corner. Is he going to put in a lap this time? He does. And up to P4 then, so a decent lap from Wild Wolf. Where is Max Thorne? He's currently just gone through Lacoon. Angie's out as well. Out on his out lap. Oh, Max fighting that car. Doesn't get the oversteer like he did last time around. He avoids the curb, unlike Positive Vibes, which is the crucial part. He is looking racy. Let's see if we get a split time here as we get into sector 2. Nope, we don't get a split, unfortunately. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. Today we don't. Now we've got just under 5 minutes left of this session. See if Max can put it up to the front, or the very front. He is on the front row as it stands. It's looking good. A little bit of oversteer coming off the final corner. Is he going to go faster? He does, and half a second faster than Unity. And that is the gauntlet laid down by Max in response to Unity going faster. Max has just gone, yeah, match that please. So there you go. A big gap then between Unity and Max. Let's see if Ange, who's currently on a flying lap on the Kemmel Straight, let's actually see where Wild Wolf is. Wild Wolf is not going fast at all. Run out of fuel by the looks of things, so he's on his way back into the pits. He needs to get back really quickly because it's about a 2-minute out lap, and we've only got 4 minutes left of the session, and with no fuel, he's going to really struggle to make it back. He almost needs to just stick that into mode 4 and let the ERS do some work. I don't know if that works, in all honesty. I've not tried it. Ange is... oh, thought he was about to lose it there on P1 curb. But Ange is getting close to Wild Wolf. Let's hope Wild Wolf is kept out of the way. Ange looks like he's backed off. Potentially has anyway. Yeah, mode 0. Ange is backed off. Where's Wild Wolf? Coming up to the chicane. Let's just stick with Ange, see if Ange notices a very slow Wild Wolf in the middle of the road. There's Wild Wolf. Wild Wolf's going to get out of the way, fortunately for Ange. And Ange is coming to the pits. Oh, don't pick up damage, that's the last thing you want to do with 2.5 minutes or 3 minutes left of the session. So everyone is, ooh, Max with a big clout of his own there. Positive Vibes has just started a flying lap by the looks of things. So 2.5 minutes left of the session. If you're in the pits, you need to be getting out as soon as you can, really. Unity is out of the pits. 2 minutes 25. Apologies. So positive vibes going down the cable straight then. Currently the only man on a flying lap. So new tyres going on, people in the pits. They need to be getting out of the pits any moment now if they want a chance at setting a flyer. Positive vibes with a bit of traffic from Unity. Hopefully Unity will get out of his way. As he's going through the corner, it's a bit wide. He's going to hold the rear end. Unity in front, gets out of the way. I'm just wondering if anyone is actually going to come out the pits. Because we've got less than a lap left. Wild Wolf 1 has donated us out as an out lap. Where is he? Andrew's on our lap. This could be tight then. I think Max has made a mistake here. He's the last man out and he's going to be off the pace. He's got a minute 15 and he's only just going up. Well, if he cuts corners he might get there. He might. It's going to be tight though. He's almost just got a no brake Lacombe. Let's see if he does no brake Lacombe. No brake Lacombe! Please make a mistake. Oh, I survived. For now. Right, what's happening elsewhere? Positive vibes is putting it aside. He's done a 146.4. He's got another chance, and he's going to run out of ERS though if he's not careful. Elsewhere, Sticks is in the pits. He's done for the day. Wild Wolf 1 coming up to Stavlo. Nope, sorry, that's Campus. And just behind him. Unity is starting flying laps, so he's fine. Positive vibes on the racing line isn't fine. Almost making a big mistake there. Max has made a bigger mistake than anyone. And I'm annoyed I missed it, because watching Max crash is about as good as it gets. I'm not sorry, Max. So Unity's lap is being hindered a little bit by the fact that Positive Vibes is just a bit slower than him. It's unfortunate though for Unity that you are both on a flying lap. And Andrew Wildwolf didn't get time to put in a flyer, and they are out. Unity is potentially not going to go any faster. Let's see if we can get a split just here. If he's down on his previous best, then he will not be going anywhere. It doesn't say, unfortunately. But he is pinning that throttle. He lost a fair bit of time behind Positive Vibes, but did he lose pole position? Yes, he did, because he's lifted off. Unfortunately, that's what happens if you get stuck behind someone on a flyer lap. They're entitled to just be there. And that is pretty much the end of qualifying then. So just waiting now for the last driver to retire from the session. Which is Positive Vibes, he should be retiring from the session any moment now. And once he's done, we can get out of qualifying and get on with that race. It looks like we're going to wait then. We've still got a minute and a half left of the session. Unfortunately, we just need Positive Vibes to retire and we can get going into the race. And there we go. So, a quick rundown of the qualifying positions in a moment. So we are joined by a couple of new drivers, but there you go. So Max taking the pole position by just over half a second from Unity, followed by Ange, Wild 1 Sticks and Positive Vibes. And we've been joined by two new drivers, so they'll be starting in the back. We just now wait for them all to get through. And it is raining, and quite heavily. This is going to make for an interesting race, that is for sure. And we still have all the previous drivers. I thought we might have lost one. So just waiting now for all the drivers to change their setups. And this is going to play beautifully into Max Thorne's hands, as we know he's an absolute rain master. And now just waiting for Beaker and Just Chilling. Obviously they didn't take part in qualifying, so they get a chance to have a little tweak to their setups. And they can put on a full wet setup. Whereas those in qualifying might have changed. No formation lap. We are going to get underway immediately. Lights out, and away they go. All the way cleanly, all on full wets. Max is going to lead into turn 1. A little bit of argy-bargy at the back. There's a bit of bodywork flying off in front of you. Not sure where that's from. Let's go on board with Wild of One and bashing with Just Chilling. Wild of One a little bit off track. Backs off. Oh, bit of contact there from Beaker. Beaker sliding. Wild was one speed. The Sticks through. Where is Sticks? Sticks isn't here. That's where he's gone. So Wild One, unfortunately, into the wall. Let off the gas a little bit too much. Collected Beaker a bit and sent himself into the wall. Max still out in front, although Unity is on his rear. Positive Vibes on the rear of Beaker as well. Let's see if Positive Vibes can make a move. Oh, bit of contact there, as this is proper wet weather racing now. You can barely see the car in front of you, with the exception of a flashing red light. Beaker giving that wall a mighty clout. Has Beaker got any front wing damage? I think he might. Yeah, all front elements are missing. And Positive Vibes is going to come through quite comfortably on the inside there of Beaker. So Beaker dropping back as further up front. Ange and Just Chilling getting past Ange. Moving himself up to P3. Max Thorne's already picks up 1.6 second lead over Unity. Ange looks like he's really struggling in this wet. Oh, sliding off track. Keeping it out of the wall though, fortunately. Doesn't pick up any damage, but he's going to lose 1 place, maybe 2. 3 comes Beaker, so Ange losing out 2 places. Beaker's going to be coming into the pits most likely this lap. The last thing you want is damage on a wet track. So Just Chilling and Max. Unity's somehow picking up a 10-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. That is huge. Not sure what happened there. It didn't look like he's that much off the track unless he did a big cut of the corner. So Beaker has pitted with that front wing damage. Just Chilling is Just Chilling behind Unity at the moment. Got to get down to under a second. But because it's wet, there will be no DRS available to either driver. And Eau Rouge becomes, or Radiant actually, becomes even harder in the wet. As that gap is holding steady around a second. Behind them there you got Ange and Just Chilling, Positive Vibes, sorry. Second between them. Ange must have made a mistake because Ange was up there. Oh no, sorry, he didn't make a mistake, yeah. There. Wild One has also pitted further back, so Beaker will be P6, but whether or not he needs to now actually find the time so far off the back. And don't really expect pit stops in the wet unless it changes to intermediate weather, but it doesn't look like it's going to anytime soon, that is for sure. And just still just off the back there of Positive Vibes. This wet weather is not working well for him. Sliding all over the place. All a bit wibbly wobbly, coming off Boo on there. Coming up to Campus. I see Stavlo, the next corners, where had problems last time. A bit of Belgium drifting. This is where he had problems last time, this corner just here. Just don't put the power down too hard. Got yellow in sector 2. That's Beaker going backwards and retiring. So Beaker's had enough of the race already. Wet weather not working well for him. Was that here on the exit stop? I think it was. Yeah. So Beaker retiring from session. Max going fastest of them all out front. Ange is still trying to find a way past Positive Vibes. Positive putting a great drive in the wet, holding off the McLaren of Ange. As they're going to go through Eau Rouge, let's see if Ange can close in up the hill. Positive Vibes looking a little bit out of shape, very out of shape, both of them looking out of shape. And she's sliding, doesn't DNF, just gives the wall a good kiss. Just see if he's picked up any damage, and don't think he has, because it was all wheel. No, so Ange somehow surviving that near miss. As it stands, Unity's 2 seconds off the back of Max, so Unity somehow picked up a 10-second penalty. Whether or not that will be overturned in post-race remains to be seen. So we'll just keep an eye on it for now and assume that there is no penalty between them. He's starting to reel in Max a little bit, down to 1.8 now. But with wet weather, it could just be one person making a little bit of mistake here and there and everywhere. As Andrew's starting to fall, Andrew's making a lot of mistakes. Had great qualifying, but obviously had a full dry setup and was not anticipating a wet race. So Unity has closed that gap down to under a second from Max. As Max made a mistake, that's allowed Unity to close in. That is the big question. P2 in the championship is Unity. The Sauber team is absolutely dominating this season. Big lock up from Unity. Somehow not collecting Max Thorne. That was close. Just chilling, picking up a 10-second penalty as well. Obviously that last corner is costing people more than just their tyres. It's costing them 10 seconds here and there and everywhere. Unity with more lock-ups is going to need to be careful. If he makes a mess of those tyres, Max might be able to do this entire race without stopping. And the last thing Unity wants is going to be a flat spot on those tyres, particularly when you're trying to go up through Radian. As you can see, just ahead of Unity is Max. He's just getting off the racing line here every now and again, just to cool those tyres down a little bit. As the racing line starts to form from these wet tyres, you need to cool them off a little bit every now and again. Which I know might sound odd considering they're wet tyres. Max has made a bit of a mistake there. He's gone quite a bit offline. But he's still in front of Unity. Max just has to be careful. If he lights those rears up a bit too much too soon, he can send him flying. Let's go on board with Max actually as he's going through third one. Oh, he's fighting this car. He's still got lead over Unity, and as always, in the rain there is no DRS. So even if you are within a 1 second window, it means nothing. Max is all out of shape. We are on lap 4, coming towards the end of it. Of 11, Max is still in the lead. Oh, I thought he was going to collect that wall. I've seen it happen before, not just with him, but with many other drivers collecting that wall between Stavlo and the other Stavlo. Let's see if Unity gets close up into here, into the bus stop chicane. Just taking it easy into it. You don't want to go too deep. It's interesting though, using mode 4, coming off some of these corners in this rain. Unity showing us how to go quick though with a 2 minutes 1 second 0.4 lap. But you're still 1.1 seconds behind Max. As we're on 5 of 11. Max still holding out the lead from Unity. Not much else going on behind as it stands. Just Chilling is Just Chilling back in third, followed by Positive Vibes in fourth, Ange in fifth, and Volvo 1 in sixth. Beaker DNFing quite early on with a few issues. Damaged his wing on the first lap, or second lap, then crashed out, again damaging his wing and just saying that will do. That'll do, donkey, that will do. Let's go on board once again with Max. As we come up to a corner where you made a mistake during qualifying on the mediums, let's see if he does it again, this time on the wets. He's looking a bit sideways last time he came through this corner. And that is a lot neater than from Max. He's starting to find his racing line in this wet. He just needs to take it easy. Don't get the power down too soon, or those rear tyres will just spin and you'll spin as well to go with it. Unity's starting to drift back a little bit. He's now 1.6. Considering he set the fastest lap last time out, you expect him to be a bit closer to that. It's not going to help Max's case, picking up a bit of grass there. He hasn't lost much time, so not too much to worry about. Coming into the chicane once again. Neatly does it. See where Unity is just behind him. 1.8 seconds between these two as Max turns up the wick, and there you go. Under 2 minutes, absolutely dominating Unity. Is just over 2 minutes. So a whole second faster that time around as Max sets the fastest lap of the race so far. Unity would have had it if Max hadn't got it. Is that a sign that this track is starting to turn a little bit more? Is it starting to dry out a little bit, maybe? As Max is still increasing that lead, up to 1.9 seconds clear of Unity now. As Ange is in the pits. Is that a bit of damage further back? Let's have a look and see if Ange has damaged that wing, or is this just a regulation pit stop? Just a regulation pit stop. Onto Winters, interestingly enough. That could be a big call. We'll stick with Ange actually. As comes out on these Inters, he's going to lose a place to Wildwolf. Possibly not. Is it too soon for Inters? That's the big question. And this is probably not a track that you want to take a big risk like that, especially with a high-speed corner like this. Takes it neatly, actually, very neatly. See if starting to gain time a little bit on Positive Vibes. And you're really going to see the benefits of the Inters, if they are the right tyre to be used, on the straights, where you can get that power down a lot sooner and a lot more efficiently. Just a little bit teetering through those corners. 29.4 off the back of Positive Vibes. Closing a little bit, but still, as I say, it's the corners that are going to cost Ange. The straights make up a little bit of time, but lose a bit in the corners as Wildwolf is closing in. Yeah, there you go. It's down to less than 4 seconds. Was it too soon? Possibly. As Unity's got that gap down to under a second from Max. So we are on lap 7 of 11. Still keep an eye on Ange and Wildwolf. That gap's now down to less than 3 seconds. It might have been too early then by the looks of things. It's starting to look like it could be into weather, but possibly a couple of laps too early. Max is a bit out of shape there on the exit of Radian. That's going to give Unity a chance to get some slipstream, but 0.6 behind, probably not going to get anything of it. And no, nothing is right there. Max is very deep into the corner and just become a 3-second penalty. Obviously those tyres are not working. Unity, however, is right on the back of Max, and whose tyres aren't working are these two? Unity is all over the back of Max. Max just needs to keep a cool, calm head. One mistake and it is Unity's race lead. Obviously it's one thing to be on the rear of another driver, it's another thing to pass, and if you, obviously with no DRS in play due to the wet, it's going to be a bit harder to make a move. Max is now starting to pull away a little bit, and speaking of pulling away, Ange is not losing out to Wildwolf. That's the important thing. It's actually that gap is starting to go the right way for Ange on those Inters. Is it Inter time? We'll find out shortly. Doesn't look like interweather, does it? With all the spray coming up from Max's car onto Unity's face. But Ange is out there on the inters. Just have a quick flick down to Ange. Just say that, gap has just gone the wrong way for Ange. I think Wild Wolf 1 might be having this place any moment. The gap is now less than a second between these two. Yeah, so I was just checking to make sure if and was going to set a fast lap. I don't suspect so now. Unity and Max both not pitting. Just over half a second between them, so they're going to go up the hill through Eau Rouge and Radian. It's crucial to get this one right. Both are looking a little bit out of shape. There's a yellow sector of 1 as Just Chilling has DNF. We can stick with this for now. Is Unity going to make a move down the inside on Max? Getting closer. Got that slipstream. Oh, that's a terrible camera angle, thanks. But no, Max holding off for now. Positive vibes. There he is, Just Chilling. That is a big crash and a half. Not sure how he's managed that in all honesty. Wall of 1 is well off the back, so I can't look at it. It looks like he just made a big mistake off the exit at turn 1 and just never corrected himself. Wall of 1 has got past Ange though, and already got a 2-second lead. Let's see if one of these guys makes a pit stop this time around. I'd be surprised this late on, unless it is perfect weather to change. Max sliding, both sliding really. So they're coming up through, up to Blanchimont now. And every now and again closes in. Max really slow there. Catches Unity out of it. Unity has to lift off. Is Unity going to send it? He's trying to around the outside. He's going to the inside of the second corner, but Max just covers him off. Looking for the cutback then is Unity. A little bit of contact potentially there between Unity and Max, but Unity now going to take the outside of La Source. He's just not caught up enough, but going to have a good chance for this cutback. Just unable to make use of it. Max going really slow and actually blocking really well. Holding off Unity for now. So we're going to go up on lap 9 of 11. Unity with that slipstream. He was close last time around. He's going to be closer this time. He's going to make a move. He's going for the outside. Camera angles can be great and can be terrible at times. But Max holding him off for now. You can feel Unity breathing down his neck. All Max needs to do is just keep him behind and don't take any serious risks. Because it's so easy to just light up those rears coming off the corner a bit too keen and you're going to be facing the wrong way. They do have a comfortable lead though over Positive Vibes further down in third, 25.5 seconds. And looking at how far back Ange is, oh, Unity all out of shape. Oh, a lot of out of shape there. Max has got a bit of breathing room now. Ange is still trying to make those inters work. You'll know when they work when you see a fastest lap come up. And considering we've not seen one of those yet, there'll be a long way to go. So Unity's now 0.8 behind Max, coming to the end of lap 9. So only 2 laps to go after this. As Unity got it left in the bag. No fuel warning for either car. So they've also got the fuel to do it. Oh, Unity lighting up those rears and has an off. And that could have just gifted the win to Max. As Unity has dropped back 2.5 seconds off the rear of Max. Max just needs to take it easy now. Knowing he's got a big lead over the man behind. Unity's just cracked under the pressure a little bit. Doing what I said not to do, which is get too keen on the accelerator. Light out his rears. Unity just needs to be Careful now. It would be so easy for Max to get a penalty in the dying stage of this race and gift the win to Unity. Obviously, I am expecting the Unity does have a 10-second penalty, but I'm expecting that to be overruled. I didn't see it, all honestly, but it didn't look like it's a 10-second penalty. But that's not for me to decide. That will be decided by the judges later on. As Unity is 2.5 seconds behind. Is that Max going very slow in front of him? It is. Max, bit of mistake there. He's actually caught up. He's now 1.7 behind. Max with a bit of mistake on the outside of turn 11. It's given Unity a little sniffle of a chance here. It's got to go down to 1.3. With only, oh, Unity with a bit of a slide off the corner of his own. As Unity's tyres starting to run the end. Has he got anything left in the rubber? Any rubber left on these tyres? Oh, very close to that wall. Very close. 1.7 between them now. Unity is gaining ever so slightly. Max obviously quite slow through Blanchimont, which is helping him. He's got it down to 1.2. Max is about to start the last lap. He knows he has only a lead of just over a second. Unity has saved everything he's got. He's not even got red fuel yet. Means he's got more than a lap left. Max without red fuel, he's got 100% ERS. He needs to actually deploy some. Let's see how Max handles going up here. Neatly does it. Unity is on his tail. He's in mode 5. Max is still, he's moved to mode 4 now. Unity already had a bit more speed than he does. Is he going to see a last second dive? No, we're not. So 0.3 between them. We're on the final lap. One mistake from Max gifts Unity the win. I shouldn't speak. I should just let Max do it. Unity is right there, right in the rear of Max. He can smell him. This is where Max made a mistake last time. Turn 11. Keeps it out the wall. We've got a yellow further down as Ange has moved past Wild Wolf. This is getting close. Max has got the lead still. It's a little wide, but Unity just can't get the power down to catch up through that gap. So we're coming through Stavlo for the final time today for these two drivers. Max currently leading 0.4 ahead. Max all out of shape. That's going to give Unity a chance. Max is unable to do anything about it, and Unity comes through. Max is now right on the rear. Has Max got anything left? He's going for it. They are side by side through Blanchimont. It's going to be last late breakers. Who's going to be the last late break? Unity is, but Max has the inside of the final chicane. Has Max done it? He has. Great. Rather aggressive, but he gets the win ever so slightly. That was a tight finish. Positive vibes. Bit off the pace. Down in third, but he'll be happy to take a podium. Renault looking pretty at the top then. So positive vibes coming around the final corner. He'll be taking home P3. He'll be very happy with that. Nice haul of points then for Renault. And on these inters, made the call. Might have been a little bit too much to ask. He's started to look more and more like Interweather, but just not working for Ange. Going to come home P4. And maybe if there was another few laps, it would have been Interweather, but what's done is done. Wolf 1 then, just behind Ange. She's going to come home P5. And there we go. We'll get a quick rundown of the results in a moment. So there you go, Max taking home the win from Unity, positive vibes, and Waddle won, and just chilling and Beaker unable to finish, having crashing out. So there you go, Max taking the pole position and the win, and the fastest lap as well, taking the Holy Trinity. Also, Unity picked up a 10-second penalty. Whether or not that will be overturned is kind of irrelevant now because he was beaten by Max. But yeah, thanks for joining me for the Calendar Season League. I'll see you guys same time next week where we'll be off to Italia. So join me then. Thanks for being here.